Hi there, my name is Gabriel. This is Devotionables, brief devotions for busy people. We are going into Revelation chapter 2 and 3 today. Broad picture of the letters to the churches. We started this series our last time together. And beginning on the next time, we'll go through the churches individually, starting with Ephesus. So these letters that Jesus sends, this is a word from Jesus to these churches. And the first thing I want us to recall and to know and to learn maybe is that these were real life churches. These were real people, real problems in a specific time and place. They had a historical context. And so when Jesus is speaking to them, remind yourself or know here, these are real people. You know, Revelation is a symbolic book, and sometimes we can go, well, it's all symbolism. Sometimes you say, well, it means this, it means this. But just be encouraged and know that Jesus is writing to real people at a specific place and time. And he tells John to send these letters. At the same time, it shows us that throughout the history of the church, which Jesus is building his church, and he's in control of history, there are certain characteristics, there are certain things that he expects, that he wants in his church. His church to be marked by love, for example, as we'll learn with Ephesus. And there are certain sins that he tells us to avoid, and problems that we face from without, problems from within the church that we have to do battle with. And so no matter whether it's at this time when Jesus is writing or today's day and age, there are certain things Jesus expects us to do and to have these characteristics. So know that. The second thing is that Jesus knows our works. In every letter it says, I know your works. And we should thank God for that. It reminds me of this. Jesus is not he's not detached from his people. He knows what is going on in our hearts. He made us at an individual level. He knows us at a corporate level. He knows his church, his churches. In Exodus chapter 2, when the people of Israel, remember they were in bondage, and there arose a Pharaoh who did not know Joseph, and they were just, the task upon the Israelites was just hard. It was awful. And it says that the Lord, he heard their cry, he saw, and he knew. The Lord knows us. He knows where we are strong. He knows what virtues we have. He knows where we are weak. He knows where we have compromise, where we have maybe just let sin kind of take root. He knows the outside pressures that we face from the outside world, the things that people are persecuting, tribulation. Jesus knows, and we can be encouraged that he knows, and then he comes to us, that he is with us. He speaks to us. He doesn't leave us on our own. And finally, there's this phrase that comes up over and over at the end of these letters, kind of how the plane lands. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. Everybody is after your ear, after your attention, after your heart. And so we hear from the world, we hear from culture, Hollywood, radio, TV commercials, we hear from schools, we hear from community outreach events, we hear from church, we hear. Who has your ear? Jesus wants your ear because he loves you, he knows you, as we just talked about, and he wants your heart. He wants to encourage you. He wants to keep working on you, to sanctify you. So who has your ear, and do you hear with faith? Pray that you might hear the Lord's voice. He's the good shepherd. His sheep know him. They hear his voice. They follow him. And all the distraction, pray that, Lord, may I hear your voice. And this hearing, it comes with another phrase, to the one who conquers, right? Jesus offers this promise to the one who hears and acts in faith on what he has heard, who then conquers. There's a promise, and these promises are so tightly, intimately relating to Jesus. And that's the greatest promise, is that you will be with Jesus. And that's the overarching theme. There's some other things that we could talk about, like, is it kind of a mail route, the angel to the church of Ephesus, to Smyrna, right, such and such. But I want us to focus, these were real churches at a specific time and place, but also represent a larger characteristics, things Jesus is looking for his church, and that Jesus is with us, he knows us, and while there's all these distractions, listen to the voice of Jesus, and that you might conquer. Blessings on you today.